Hi, everybody. Welcome to class. Today is we're making the sacred blessing bowls with the rose water um, for the 13th rite of the Moon Nike for the rite of the womb. And I'm so sorry that we are late. Um, it's been a day. I drove practically the length of Colorado and back today, so I'm a little tired. Um, so if you didn't get the um, update that we are going to be late, you can always like my Facebook page, the Sacred Woman Healing, and that's where we give the updates for whether we're going to be late or whatnot. If there's any updates to give, we'll give them there. But we're going to go ahead and start. Um, so today, while I was driving up by Denver, and I was given this vision while I was driving. I was driving past an ambulance, and I actually trained to be an EMT when I was in my early 20s, around 22, 23 ish. And so I saw this flashback of my time training as an EMT, um, and um, what it was is um, I was driving to a scene of an accident, and their lights were flashing. The ambulance lights were flashing. The cop car lights were flashing, and it actually was the scene of my car crash. Please go away. Sorry. Um. Oh my gosh. Okay. That was my son. He brought me a really big spray bottle of rose water. So I have in the shop, I have spray bottles of rose water for sale, and I wanted to show them to you in case you didn't want to make rose water. And he just brought me like this huge cleaning bottle of rose water. Oh my gosh. Okay. So anyway, back to my story. I was given this vision where I was driving up to the scene of a car crash. And when I got there, there was a girl laying unconscious in the street, in the middle of the street. Um, and she was naked except for her bra and panties. And the lights were flashing, and it was dark. It was nighttime. And when I looked to see who it was me. So I rolled up to the scene of my own car crash, and that is what I was told we are going to heal today. So we're going to heal some trauma as well as making our um, rose water bowls. Um, I'll tell you more of that story in a minute, but I just wanted to let you know that that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be healing some trauma. So think of something that you need to heal. You can pause the video if you want and meditate on what it is that you need to heal. Um, and we'll do a short meditation on releasing that trauma around that. But we will go ahead and start making our rose water. And this is the bowl I'm going to use. I am going to put in my moon water from the full moon, and I actually used it to hydrate some of my roses, my old roses. And then I just went and got another thing of roses from the store. I don't know what they have with them. I don't know if they're like jasmine or what they are, but they're some kind of pretty white flower, and I always usually put whatever extra flowers they have in the bouquet that I buy in the rose water. And you can make this a couple ways. The first way I made it was just in a bowl like this, um, and I just put the roses in there and gradually over time let the water absorb the essences of the roses. I just left them in there and didn't ever take them out. And I just used it as a blessing bowl by my door. So if I was leaving the house, I would bless myself and I would cleanse my aura. Or if I was coming back from wherever, I would bless myself again and cleanse my aura. Um, so we can do it that way, or you can also put your water into your bowl. Put the roses in there. We'll bless it, and then you can actually, if you want to, cook the roses um, to um, create rose water that way. That's another way to do it. And then you can also put a little bit of alcohol in the water after the water's already cooled off and put it in like a spray bottle as a spritz. So I have bottles like this, um, little spray bottles like this, but like glass spray bottles, and they have the rose water in there. That's what I wanted. I didn't want a big cleaning spray bottle of rose water. But anyway, they're in the shop if you want them. So we'll go ahead and start making the rose water. I use roses. You can use any flowers you want to, but I personally, and I think many other um, healers and people associate roses with the womb. It is the highest vibrational flower. And um, it's associated with Mary Magdalene and the Blessed Virgin Mary. So I like to use roses personally. I feel it raises my vibration. I have a bottle of rose water that I blessed with Reiki and moon water um, in my car, and I just kind of spritz it when I feel like I need a pick me up. I didn't spritz any today. I should have because I probably could have used it. But yeah, it's a great tool to use um, whenever you just feel like you need a little bit of a pick me up. So I'm going to go ahead and I have a fan on, but I'm going to try and light my sage. Do it under my desk. It's windy. It's really hot here in Colorado today. I like I said, I drove about the length of the state. I'm tired, and oh my goodness, by the time I got to Pueblo, I had some work to do in Pueblo, and oh my gosh, it was so hot. I couldn't walk from my car to the house that I was going to, which was maybe 100 feet without sweating. I don't know how I do it there. It's so hot. And they're only just to the south of us, so it gets a lot hotter there than it is here. Oops, sorry. I don't know what he's barking for. He's supposed to be outside. So. Let me see if I can get one of the kids to get him and take him outside. Oh, and another thing you can do, I learned recently, is you can on your phone put affirmations on your phone. And that way, every time as your lock, so every time um, every time you are opening your phone, you're saying an affirmation. It's a great manifesting tool. I really like using it, and so far it's been really good at manifesting things. Let me see. All right, let's see if that happens. But anyway, I told my son to come get the dog. He was supposed to be out already. But anyway, my fan is having the sage blow or light really well. So that's nice. I love sage. I love a good sage when it's lit really good. And since we're going to be doing womb healing, just give your womb an extra smudge. And release all the tension that you're holding in your body. I'm going to try and hide this so it'll go out. All right, we'll see. So first thing we'll do is I've already blessed my moon water with Reiki when I put it out underneath the moon the other last time. So if you're not attuned to Reiki, what you can always do too is get attuned. There's actually attunements on YouTube. And also, you can focus on your heart chakra and you can bless it with love and yumminess. So we'll go ahead and put your water in your bowl. Also, don't forget to bless your bowl before you put the water in it. Sometimes I forget. That's okay. It's okay if you forgot. So we'll go ahead and I like to do one rose petal at a time. So it just comes right off and then just add it into your water. And I like watching roses fall. They're pretty. I think they're pretty. They're my favorite flower. There's one. That one came off really easy. So you can just watch them fall. And last time I did this, I think I used a really big bouquet. I know when I actually made the rose water, I used a dozen red roses. I think I put one white rose in each of them. So you can use as many or as few as you want to. So all the roses are gone. Like I said, they have these pretty little white flowers, and I'll be throwing those in there. So we'll go ahead and now that we put the flowers in there, I'll go ahead and say a prayer over it. I have a Christian background, so I do like to pray Christian prayers. So just insert whoever you pray to. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for these flowers and roses that we are putting in here today. We thank you for the essence of these flowers and the blessings that they carry. We ask that they bless us with their beautiful essence, with their vibration, with love and kindness for the greatest and highest good of all. Amen, aho, and so it is. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. It just has to be. And I think that's pretty. You can always take a picture. It's really pretty. I like it. So we'll go ahead and you can also, like I said, put your hands over it, bless it. Always blow your life force into the bowl, your breath, whatever you're working with. I like to spin it around 3 times clockwise. I don't know why. I'm just guided to do it. So I like to spin it. And there's your blessing bowl. You can mix it down into the water if you want to, or you can just let the water naturally take the roses and the flowers down with it. So however you want to do it, it's really simple, it's really easy, and that's just how it's done. So your blessing bowl is ready. And we'll actually use that in just a few moments when we are releasing the trauma. So what you can do, a lot of times is what I like to do is write down whatever it is that you're releasing, and you will be able to, you can burn it, you can bury it, you can let it go um, in like a lake or a river. I like rivers because it just carries it far away. I have a little creek by my house that I like to release things in. Um, so you can do it however you want to do it, however you feel called to do it. You can release it to the wind. Um, like you can burn it and then release it. I like to do it that way also. But speaking of what I was saying earlier, my car crash, I was shown my car crash through, um, like I was watching a movie, and it was interesting because it was like I was driving, and it was just like it was just like maybe a 3 minute video in my head while I was driving, and I saw myself laying in the middle of the road naked. They had cut my clothes off of me. They cut my shirt off. They cut my jeans off. I was really upset about my jeans because they were $70 jeans and they were brand new and I just bought them. But I was actually driving with, I wasn't driving, but my ex husband who passed away was driving and he was drunk and he was beating me in my car, and my head was bouncing off the window and the seatbelt on the side. And I was actually talking to my grandparents about it the other day. If you can even see it in the video, like right here, you can see where my head is um, weird. There I have a big, like a knot on top of my head. And then my face from right here was completely burned. And I always thought that it didn't bother me. Like the burns never bothered me. They went away. And I was um, like my face went back to normal. But that was a lie because if you look, my face is actually used to look like this. My face used to be like symmetrical and pretty and everything, and now it's you can see that it's a little different. That's from from my car accident. But um, I was talking to my son about it today. It was funny. My sister-in-law told me we were underage. I was like 18, he was 17, and she bought us alcohol. And he told me he wasn't drunk, and he was driving my car, and he was drunk, and he was beating me. Um, and he hit a tree really fast, going like 50 miles an hour or something like that. I don't know how fast he was going, but anyway, it was really fast. That's what they told me, and my head was hitting the window, and then on top of hitting the window, I hit the windshield with my head, and so there was that the big like I don't even know what to call it, that big circle thing where they where you break the glass with your head. There was that on my car, and then I hit the dashboard, and then I crumpled on the ground. It's not funny, but I laugh because it just sounds like you're watching a movie. But that's what happened. And then he tried to break the glass on my car to get me out of the car because I was unconscious. And he didn't have to do that. All he had to do was open the door. The neighbor came out. It was like 10, 11 o'clock at night. The neighbor came out and took me out of the car and told the cops that he was the one driving. So he told the cops that I was the one driving and told me to tell the cops that I was driving. After I woke up from laying on the ground unconscious for I don't know how long. I don't know how long I was unconscious for, but they said I was unconscious for a good bit, and it was a very traumatic experience. I woke up laying on the ground naked, except for my panties and my bra were still on, and I freaked out. I was like, I sat up right away, and I was like, I have to go. I have to go. I have to go. I have to go home. Is what I told him. And the lights and the sirens were all around, and they were the lights were flashing, and the sirens were going off, and they grabbed me by my shoulders and they shoved me back down. They're like, "You ain't going nowhere." My head was there was a contusion on my head. It was pushed outwards. It was very traumatic. I was only 18 and I was very naive, and there was so much that happened. It was such a crazy experience. And I didn't know until later that he was beating the heck out of me. And course, he apologized and said he was sorry and did all the things, and so I stayed. But yeah, I ended up in the hospital that night, and um, it took me, I think it took my face 4 weeks to heal from all the burns and everything that I received from there. So that's what I was showed, that I had to heal today. So I thought we would heal that together in class. That kind of trauma is held within our womb space, and it needs to be released because um, it can manifest as other things. And what I was told that it manifests as for me is um, feelings of being worthy. I feel unworthy in relationships. I was shown also when I that the time that one of the first time, well, the first time, the first time that I was pregnant. Um, my same guy, husband at the time, was screaming at me how unworthy I was of any kind of conversation um, with any kind of guy, not like romantic um, conversation, just any conversation with any. Like I worked at okay, so I was working at Walmart in the photo lab, and the automotive manager came up and talked to me. He was a guy, and he was like, "Hey, we need a cashier in automotive." And I was like 8 months pregnant, 7, 8, 9 months pregnant already. I was big. He's like, "We need a cashier in automotive. Would you consider coming to help us?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And my other sister-in-law was there at the time, and she told my husband that I was flirting with him. I wasn't. He just asked me to come work over there in that area. So I was like, "Yeah, I can help out." And so my husband got mad, and he's like, "Who the hell do you think you are? And you're ugly and you're this and you're that." And so I became unworthy of male attention. I thought I was unworthy to talk to any kind of guy or anybody. And it took me a really long time to be able to actually just communicate with people on a normal everyday basis. Like today, I had a work interview kind of thing that I had to go do up by Denver. That's why I was up there. And that conversation would have never taken place if I hadn't done as much healing as I've done, um, because I couldn't talk to people. I was too afraid to talk to people. So that manifests as a lot of that it can manifest as many different things. Even today in relationships, I absolutely struggle um, being in a relationship. It's very difficult for me to be in a relationship. Like the last guy I dated was almost a year ago, and the first date was great. It was magical, and there were like literal fireworks. It wasn't for the 4th of July or anything, but there were actual fireworks there. We just stumbled upon them. We were in the Garden of the Gods, and we did it was just a great, amazing night, and we really had great chemistry. And then after that, I just couldn't like relax. I couldn't fathom somebody actually wanted to have a relationship with me. I've been single for about 10 years, and then in between the 10 years, I just had some guy live with me, and I couldn't get rid of him. The cops wouldn't get rid of him. Nothing worked when I tried to get rid of this person who was abusing me, using drugs, drinking, and like destroying my house. I couldn't get rid of him. Um, but that can manifest as all kinds of things. So that is a one reason. That's a really good reason to release trauma from our womb space, because a lot of the times it blocks our energy, it blocks our creativeness, it blocks us being able to create things, and to really embody all that we are. I think it blocks us from being able to embody um, our womanhood, because for the longest time before I did womb healing, I was like a dude. I was, and I've even written about it. I was always ready for the next fight. I was always ready to go. Um, I was like a guy, and when I started doing womb healing, and even last year, while I was dating that guy, I was very much in my masculine energy, and it was very hard for me to relax and to take a deep breath. And he would be something would like he was here one night and something happened with the kids. Their um, bookshelf broke, like completely just shattered, like it just fell apart. And he was like, "I got it. Sit down. Let me get it." He was trying to trying to be the masculine, which he was in that relationship, and I couldn't let him do it. I was on edge. I was nervous. I was scared. I was having anxiety, and I really liked him. We had really good chemistry, and he stopped talking to me because I still have unresolved trauma in relationships that I can't currently get past. But, the more I work on womb healing and learning how to rest into my feminine energy, I think it will be better for me. Um, so that is why to heal trauma. Guys, today keep saying how we are in our masculine energy. We're too masculine. We're too manly. We um, wear the pants, and we kind of do, but we're kind of forced to as well because I know when I was very sweet and very feminine and very young and naive, I was very feminine. I was very much in my feminine energy. I would rely on the man I was with to take care of me, to do all the things. And the first one fell through, and um, the second one, uh, same thing. The first one um, passed away, and because he wasn't, um, I think, because he wasn't living the life he should have, and he was actually just torturing me and my children. So I think that karma worked its magic, and because it was just there's no other way to explain it. The way he passed was just crazy. He had passed away on January 12th of 2020, which was the Pluto conjunction with Saturn in Capricorn. He's a Capricorn. It was just completely coincidental. And then the second one, he used to just beat me, and he told me straight to my face, "I will not help you in any way, shape, or form. You are to raise these children by yourself. I don't care what happens." And then once he realized that I could, he um, started abusing me with my ex husband. They would do it in tandem, took me to court together, all the things. So there's just a lot of trauma to heal there before I think I can have a relationship. And before, I had not really um, focused on healing my divine feminine, my feminine energy. So I think that is the next step. And I've actually been being called to the rose lineage, and feminine energy has actually just been screaming at me. So we are going to start healing what damage has been done to us through society, through the men we've been with. Um, so yeah, we'll go ahead and start. So we've let the roses sit in the water. I pushed mine down, and this is what it looks like now. I will actually I have a clear quartz crystal out in my other bowl, and it's a big raw piece of clear quartz that I'll go ahead and put in my bowl to amplify the energies of the roses and my intentions. So you always set an intention with whatever you're creating. So my intention for this rose water is to bless myself with it, to raise my vibration, uh, to cleanse my aura, to heal uh, my damaged feminine, my broken feminine, to put the pieces back together and to bless all that touch it or come in contact with it. Um, so that is my intention for this rose water. So I'm going to go ahead and just rub it through my aura. I kind of was playing with it earlier. I love to play with rose water. So I come with an open heart, an open mind, open intentions, and I open my womb space to healing that part of me that I have held back and locked away um, into my memories, into my memory bank, all those places, dark recesses that I haven't thought of for years. I allow them now to come to the forefront and be present during this healing, and I invite you to do the same. Just drop into the energies, soften, open, and release any and all anxieties over any healing. Next class is called Heal the Womb Fearlessly. We're going to jump into womb healing and really honor that sacred part of us that needs to be healed, loved, and looked at. So many times people say to hold space for what it is you want, what it is you're manifesting, what it is you're healing. This is how we're going to do it. We're going to take a look at it. You can think of it as kind of watching a movie. Bring whatever needs to be healed to the forefront of your mind. You can see it through your third eye. We can also bless our third eye with the rose water. If you have rose oil, rose essential oil, rose essential oil is great to put into rose water. I love putting essential oils into everything that I do. I have some rose essential oil in my living room. I'll go ahead and mix it in. It smells amazing. It's just, I think, raises the vibration of it even more. It's just beautiful to work with. I think I'm going to put it in there and, like I said, drop into the energies. And like I said, pull the memory up into your third eye. And know that you're in a safe space. You're safe. You're loved. You're held in the space that we are in. Lower energies are not allowed in the space. If they are present, they are asked to leave at this time. Again, sit with love in your heart. You can put your hands over your heart center. And you can ask the angels to step in. Archangel Raphael is always here to assist us. Archangel Michael is here to protect us. Archangel Uriel offers us the wisdom and guidance to step forward fearlessly. Archangel Gabriel is here to communicate any messages that we need to hear. Sit with love in your heart and see what color it is. Mine is a purplish white. Now, pull up your memory, see it, watch it. I'm going to tell my 18-year-old self that in that moment, when I was being punched in my head over and over, and using his words, he beat me like a man, like I was a man. I'm going to tell that 18-year-old who was fighting to survive, fighting for her life in that moment, fighting for love, fighting for peace, fighting for the sanctity of my own life, of her own life. I'm going to tell her that she is loved, that she is brave for standing up to someone who is attacking her, that she is held. And if you feel the need to release any and all emotions, however you feel you need to release them, if you feel that you need to cry, if you feel that you need to scream and let your anger out, if you feel like you need to hit a pillow, you are perfectly safe to do so. Release your emotions how you feel that you need to release them. If you need to journal after this meditation, after this blessing, then journal. Journal with love. Send love to yourself. I'm going to let that little girl know, laying on the floor of the street, naked for everybody to see, that it's okay, that she made it out alive. She's strong, she's brave. She's taken steps that she never thought she would. She makes it out okay. She makes it out alive. I'm going to send her love as she lay scared and terrified on that cold, hard road with a million men all around her, seeing her naked, that she survived everything that she went through. Hold space for yourself in that moment. I'm going to let that 19-year-old girl know who was pregnant and just trying to survive and make money for her unborn child, and who sat in NICU day after day alone while her husband was off with another woman, that she was okay. She's loved and held. She made it through that nightmare and many more. I'm going to let my 24-year-old self know laying on the cold floor, paralyzed, after the man who swore to protect her picked her up by the neck and body slammed her on the cold carpet, the hard carpet on her head, that she survived, that she's okay, that she's loved, she's wanted. I'm going to hold space for that 23-year-old girl, that 19-year-old girl, that 18-year-old girl. I'm going to hold space for the 32-year-old woman who had a monster living in her house and couldn't get him out. I'm going to let her know that her bruise is healed. The bruises left, they healed. They're no longer, they're just a distant memory. I'm going to let her know that her baby was born safely and that she protected her from a psychotic, abusive father who tried to kill her. Hold space for yourself at various ages. Send yourself love. Hold yourself through the hurt, through the heartache, through the pain, through the emotions. Feel those emotions. Do not bury them. Do not hide them. Do not be scared of them. They offer us opportunities to grow through them, to grow with them, to become someone that we never thought we could be. Spend one more moment here in this place of love. I send those experiences gratitude personally because they have made me who I am. And I don't hold any ill will. Doesn't mean I don't have to. Doesn't mean I don't have to. I don't have to be friends with them. I don't have to laugh with them. I don't have to joke with them. I don't have to share myself with them. You can still have boundaries and share yourself with who you want to share yourself with and be who you want to be. You don't have to associate with these people anymore. Go ahead and dip your hands in your blessing bowl one more time. Put them together. Place them on your womb. Take a deep breath. And pick a guide. Who is speaking to you at this moment? Right now, I have Kali coming, stepping forward for me. And when you're ready, you can mentally, physically, and emotionally, however you choose, give them this trauma that you no longer want to carry in your body. You can just hand it to them and they'll take it and they will turn it into better energy for someone else who needs it. So when you're ready, take a deep breath. And you can hand it. You can offer it to your deity. You can offer it to your God. You can offer it to Mother Mary. You can offer it to Mary Magdalene. I will offer mine to Kali as she has stepped forward for me. And she will take it. And she will transmute it in her own way. And you can sit in this liminal space. And I like to think of that space as somewhere between where I used to be and where I'm going. I'm no longer that 18-year-old girl, but she knows she's loved. I am no longer that 19-year-old girl. She knows she's loved. I'm no longer that 23-year-old girl. She knows that she's loved and she survived. And I'm no longer that 32-year-old woman who was helpless. I have grown and I've conquered my fears, and you have, and you will too. We are each on our own special journeys, and we are not where we were yesterday. We're not where we were 3 months ago. We are not where we were a year ago, and we most certainly are not where we were 5 or 10 years ago. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and close. Thank you for making blessing bowls with me. Thank you for spending your time with me. You can put your blessing bowl wherever you want to. You can put it by your nightstand. You can put it by your front door. You can put it in your bathroom. You can put it in a water bottle. However you feel like using your blessing bowl is up to you. And thank you so much for being a part of class today.